Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, this morning, we are starting off looking at the futures, which are slightly negative. It's also important to note that there's a lot of pushback coming in. I'm referring to the spat between the White House and Jerome Powell. We had Senator Tillis very resolutely saying that this is not done and that he's not going to approve any nominees for Federal Reserve until this issue is sorted. Then Senator Elizabeth Warren also had a meeting at the press club and had very strong words. So the Senate is kind of standing up to the situation. And therefore, I think what we are looking at today in the slight negative does not include anything to do with the Federal Reserve. I think this is more of jitters around the CPI, which is due at around 8:30 a.m. As you can see here, we'll be getting core inflation rate month over month, year over year, and we're also going to get CPI data and ADP employment weekly change. Business optimism index seemed to have improved in line with consensus, 99.5 as compared to the previous of 99.0. So that's a positive out there. But again, inflation is what's going to move the needle. And then tomorrow we have producer price index, which is going to come up, and retail sales month over month. So those are all important numbers to look at, and we'll get some idea of what's happening. And then again, it brings us to the question, can the numbers be trusted? So it'll be interesting to see how the market is going to treat these numbers, whichever way they turn up, whether it's going to believe them or it's going to use some kind of excuse to move in the direction that it wants to move. So that said, I think for today, S&P 500 futures seem to be demonstrating reducing volumes. As you can see, earlier we had much higher volumes, but the last so many days, the volumes have not been that high. So we have to watch the volumes carefully, because lower volumes indicates lack of participation by the market, which means the price action that we are seeing out here may not be as strong as it seems. Let us keep that in mind. Market sentiment is bullish, MACD is bullish, but tending towards signal line. And momentum is pretty good. Now let's look at NASDAQ. What is NASDAQ doing? Again, the volume story is the same with NASDAQ. The volumes have reduced as compared to the previous weeks, and market sentiment has improved. It has become slightly bullish. MACD is also bullish. And we have the head and shoulder pattern, which is most likely to get dissipated if we continue with the bullishness that we have seen. But this morning, we are down 0.19% in NASDAQ. And let's look at the dollar index. The Federal Reserve spat caused the dollar index a little red candle out here. However, this morning, we are gaining back at least half of what was lost yesterday. So it's improving. And if you look at weeks, it's up 1.06%. In right now, it's around 8.04 a.m. and it's slightly up. Yesterday also, we were in the middle of the previous day's candle when we opened, and then we gained. So today, let us see how it goes, and let's look at gold. Gold is down 0.08%. It is struggling with the upper band of the parallel channel, and that could be a little bit of inaccuracy here, but basically, I think it is negotiating this parallel channel resistance. And for today, that resistance is at 4,603. 0.78. Right now we are at 4,594. So the question is, are we going to be able to break out from here? If we broke out from here, then we'll be in a wedge pattern where if we get a support out here, if we confirm the top of the parallel channel as support, and we have the resistance above this red line, so it'll become a wedge, and we'll have to see where the wedge breaks out. And I think in that case, the odds will be for it to break out on the upside, because we'll be on a bullish channel. So with that said, I think market sentiment for gold is high. MACD is also high. Momentum is above average. In fact, it's at 70% with plenty of room on the RSI. In the past, we have gone all the way up to 87.94 on the RSI before slipping back. So I think gold still got a lot of legs to run. Put call ratio is almost neutral. And with that, I think I would like to go and have a look at the indicators themselves. S&P 500. We are going to get support today at around 6,936.81. And I would just pull this out a little bit. And our resistance for today is likely to be at 7,103.68. That's the resistance, and we are creating new highs at this point of time. So we don't know how high it can go, how long it will take to reach that. But that line of resistance is a dynamic line of resistance. Therefore, with every passing day, it keeps on going higher. Now let's look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq has been able to negotiate the line of resistance and convert that into a support by closing above yesterday's close, and therefore this band of support is now a confirmed support, which is very good for Nasdaq. Market sentiment, which was bearish, is now becoming neutral. MACD is becoming bullish. Momentum is going above average. Plenty of room on the RSI. And when we go to QQQ, we'll know what's happening in the pre-market. Pre-market, we are down 0.15%. And this band of support out here, which is available to, let me just color this green so that we don't have any illusions about it. Yeah. So this support has been confirmed by closing above the previous day's close. So I'm thinking that this is a strong foundation for QQQ. Again, same as reflected in Nasdaq, but we are opening the morning a little lower, and market sentiment is almost neutral. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average, but flat. Let us see what happens when the market opens. It's all depending on the CPI, and then we'll see which direction we are going in. Now let us look at the AI stocks, and NVDA is down 0.02% in pre-market trades. It bounced off a support of 183.13, which remains a support for today, and the resistance for today is going to be at 186.58. Let's look at Meta, which is up 0.08% in pre-market trades. Support is at 637.19. Resistance is at 651.06. And if you look at Google, I would like to invest in Google, but I don't have the courage to do so at such elevated levels. And with market being where it is, Google is up 0.76 in pre-market trades. And in my opinion, it's tracking a target of 332.88. That's what I think is happening out here because of the breakout from the bull flag. There was heavy consolidation, which means that the jump is also going to be pretty strong. I wish I could bring myself to buy some Google, but I'm managing my risk very carefully. I think it will definitely go to 372.58. Amazon is down 0.05% in pre-market trades. As I said earlier, it has met the target from before. And right now we want to see a candle formation, a pattern formation, which can tell us whether we are bullish or bearish. The last candle that was created was a bearish candle because it has a long tail on the top and a small body at the bottom. So I like to see more candles today before making any decision. But if I look at the market sentiment, it is absolutely bullish. MACD is bullish, but tending towards the signal line. Momentum hit 70% and then started coming down. So we'll see what happens after the market opens. At this point of time, the head and shoulder pattern concept is kind of gone. So I'm going to remove that. Now let's look at Apple, which is down 0.40%. I think Apple will come back, test the support, and then bounce back up again. Next, let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft is down 0.37%, still within the parallel channel. For today, the resistance is at 478.54, and for today, the support is going to be at about 473.27. Then next, let's look at Tesla. Tesla is flat in pre-market trades, and it has got a resistance at 455.35. And let's look at Oracle. Oracle is down 1.29%, but it's managed to confirm the support of 196.43. So if it comes back and tests the support, it will bounce back again. So Oracle is starting to look decent to me at this point of time for short-term trade. And AMD is up 2.63%, and we have resistance. Sorry, we have support. Let me mark the screen. We have a support at 203.52, which is this green line. But for today, I think our support will be 208.23. Right now, we're at 213.21, and the resistance is likely to be 220.30. Let's look at SMCI. SMCI is on a descending wedge kind of a pattern, and it's down 0.80% in pre-market trades. I'm keenly waiting for it to break down below this line of support, which is at 28.94, so that I can make some profit out of the SMCZ that I have got. But I'm also watching market sentiment improving, MACD improving, and I don't want to take any chances. So sooner rather than later, I'll have to take a decision and exit SMCZ if things start looking bullish. Broadcom is down 0.40%. And I think for today, the resistance is going to be 362.04 and the support is going to be 350.76. That said, let's look at Palantir. Palantir is down 0.40% in pre-market trades, and it's going to have some amount of support. I think initial support at 176.04, and it could get a resistance at around 185.52. SMH is up 0.04%. It's trying to break through this diagonal line of resistance, but it's not able to. And for today, the diagonal line of resistance is at 391.54. Right now, we are at 390.75. Tempus AI is something I'm watching very closely. I booked a good amount of profit yesterday by selling half of the shares, and I bought it back. I sold it at 76 per share, and I bought it back at 74. So my blended rate is around $70. So I'm waiting for the price to bounce back, and then I would be able to take a decision to sell it closer to what we have here as resistance at 77.74. So that's my plan of action today. Looking at the market sentiment, which is bullish, MACD, which is bullish, momentum above average and rising, I think I should be able to achieve that. With that said, let us go on and have a look at Genomics. In Genomics, we have Pfizer, which is up 0.20%. Pfizer is doing a lackluster performance. I've been waiting a long while for this cup and handle pattern to give us the target of around 28.20. But it doesn't seem to be happening. We are just moving along this bull channel, and soon we'll come to a test. We'll come to a bunch of tests where we have to break out of the wedge. Let us see how that goes. Right now, it's not looking that great. Prime is up 0.70% in pre-market trades. And for today, I think the resistance will be at 4.43. Right now, we're at 4.31. And the market sentiment, MACD, everything is bullish for Prime. Intelia is up 1.40%, resistance at 11.83. Right now, we're at 11.61. And we are going to get some support at 10.36. That said, Caribou Biosciences is flat in pre-market trade. It's going to get support at 1.50. Beam Therapeutics is down 0.50% in pre-market trade. And I think if it creates a wedge pattern out here, or if it creates a flag pattern, I'll be more than happy. It has a target of 34.47, which it has already met and come back down. Now let's look at Altimmune. Altimmune is flat in pre-market trades, and it's going to get initial resistance at 4.18. Editas is up 0.47% in pre-market trades, and it will get a resistance somewhere in the region of 2.17. Right now we're at 2.14. Let me just convert this into a support. Illumina. Illumina is up 0.14%. It's riding this bull channel, and it has a target of 151.87, and it has come very close to that target, but it has not quite met it. It's missed it by a few cents. Hopefully we get that done, and I'm looking at this as a bullish pennant in the formation, so I'm still bullish about Illumina. CRISPR Therapeutics is down 0.13%. It's going to get support at 53.24, and it's going to get a resistance at 56.35. Next, let us look at Allogene, which is up 4.79% in pre-market trades. We're trying to track a target of 2.19 for Allogene. It's a cup and handle pattern target. Next, let's look at Grail. Grail is down 0.61% in pre-market trades. Support is going to be at 94.12. And let us look at ESCB, still in the wedge pattern. And let us look at ARCG. ARCG is down 0.22% in pre-market trades, and it's going to get support today at somewhere around $31.32, and it could get some resistance at 32.14. Let's look at Vertex. Vertex is still, I wouldn't say it is still, Vertex has fallen below the diagonal line of support, which is at 459.33. Right now we're at 457.50. So we have a line of resistance here. The question is, will it confirm below this line of resistance, or like in past, it's going to break back up again? Because this is a confirmed line of support and an unconfirmed line of resistance today. So chances of us bouncing back up is pretty high. Next, let's look at Ginkgo Bioworks, which is up 0.31% in pre-market trades. Support remains at 9.37, and resistance is going to be somewhere around 9.90. Right now, we are at 9.59. And I would like to look at Precision. Precision is up 5.20% in pre-market trades. A little bit of a saving grace after breaking down from the bottom of this bullish pennant. So I'm happy with that. Whatever has happened for the best. For today, I think the support is going to be at 4.20, and our resistance is going to be somewhere in the range of 4.53. That's the resistance. Next, let's look Eli Lilly, which is following the top of the regression channel, which performs support at 1051.06. Right now we are at 1084.75, and our resistance will be 10.18. Next, I want to look at Ultragenyx. Ultragenyx is down 0.70%. A flat pattern has been created out here, so let us wait and see if it goes full-fledged flag or a pennant and then breaks out on the upside. We need to see some more candles come out because nothing is very clear out here. The contrary signals are in the indicators where you can see that market sentiment is bearish. MACD, though bearish, is improving, and momentum is way below average. So it's all not adding up very well. So no need to make any predictions on Ultragenyx. Next, let us go and have a look at currencies. So here we are in currencies. I'm looking at Bitcoin USD. Bitcoin is on the upper end, and if it's starting to come down today, then it will get a support at around 91,790.87. That's going to be the support if it decides to come down. But if it wants to go up, then it's going to get a resistance, which will be somewhere in the region of 92,471.94. So that is the support and resistance, but if it breaks out, it's going to be phenomenal. Now, having said that, I think that I would like to end this session right now and catch up with you guys again in the next one. Bye for now.